Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad New Fangled Motion Picture Show.
That's right, folks. We're back with another episode of the Everything is Bad New Fangled Motion Picture Show. I'm your host, Niall.
And I'm Nolan.
And today we're going to be discussing Hollywood's biggest missed opportunity to use the song Black Betty by Ram Jam?
Yeah, Ram
Yeah, Ram Jam. I like the Spider-Bait version. Go listen to that. Of course, we're talking about Black Adam. So, to give you, or before we go into that, I just want to let everyone know we're going to do a spoiler-free review. It's a DC superhero movie. Not like there's a lot to spoil. It's pretty formulaic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little different because Black Adam's he's an anti-hero. Ooh. But anyway, so like it's pretty predictable. But anyway, so we'll do a spoiler-free review, I guess, and then give you a spoiler warning and go more in depth into it after that. So, yeah, Pierce Brosnan was great.
Pierce Brosnan's always great.
Is he?
Name something he wasn't great in. Not a movie he was in that wasn't great. He's been in some terrible movies.
Yeah, okay.
But name a movie where he was ever a negative.
Well, I never saw Mamma Mia, so.
No, I didn't either.
I don't know. I guess he was an alright Bond. But anyway, so yeah, so this movie is a very unrock-like performance from Mr. Dwayne Johnson. Like not his typical thing because he's always like the funny, charismatic good guy.
Right. Instead, he's not particularly funny. There's some funny moments with him, but they weren't like.
It was funny because the man out of time doesn't understand.
Yeah, that was where a lot of the humor came from with him. But I think it was a pretty good movie. There's nothing spectacular about it. You know, not groundbreaking by any means, but it was a solid superhero movie. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the better DC superhero movies.
So, alright, so does this exist in the Man of Steel universe? Justice League?
I don't know how they're doing it now.
Because, I heard this was supposed to kick off, a whole new thing, but, at the very least, the Suicide Squad is part of this universe.
Well, Amanda Waller's in it.
Right. Well, I guess, she's...
It could...
Could this be a different Amanda Waller, just the same...
Same actress?
Actress?
Could be.
Because, why would you, how and could you cast anyone else?
It shows all this, throughout the movie, you see all this,
That's not a spoiler, that's, the first 2 minutes of the movie.
Anyway, throughout the movie, there's all this, superhero merchandise, and it's all clearly, the Zack Snyder...
Right.
...characters.
Yeah. That's true. And there's, kid has, Wonder Woman comics.
Yeah, he also had some, Batman and Superman and stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, he had, all the posters in his bedroom and stuff. So, yeah, this movie, it has some things that aren't the best, but for DC, it's sort of par for the course. The bad guy organization is dumb. I don't remember what it's called. Something Gang.
Something Gang. There's probably people that watching this that know it. Of course, people that would know that have seen the movie, probably.
Yeah.
We're a little late. Life gets in the way.
Sure does.
I can't even remember what it's called. Intergang?
Intergang? Yeah, that sounds right. Dumb name. The first time I heard it, I was like, what? Because it's not a gang. It's a PMC.
Yeah.
That is the dumbest name for a PMC. Why would you have gang as the name for your PMC? It has so many bad connotations. You're not going to get hired. Who's going to try to, with a straight face, use a PMC for doing PMC shit?
My other question, who hired this PMC to invade this country?
That they've, just ruled as a PMC. So, okay, did someone hire them to invade this country, or do they just rule it like it's outer heaven?
That could be it.
that was kind of the impression I got, is that there's like, at the top of this organization is Big Boss, and this is Zanzibar.
Could be.
You
So now, while this movie has some like plot holes, like every superhero, they're not nearly as egregious as like say Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, and like they don't have anything quite as dumb as like lassoing an RPG mid-flight and having that like pull you, because that rocket motor could definitely just pull a woman the size of Gal Gadot without changing the trajectory.
Right.
That whole sequence didn't even have the benefit of being cool. Like I could excuse some dumb shit in my superhero movies if it's cool.
Yeah, rule of cool, obviously.
Yeah. So
there's some dumb stuff in this that is either you excuse because it either winds up being funny or a cool scene.
So I will say that if the first 15 minutes of this movie is just solid exposition, and that felt weird.
It didn't feel weird to me because obviously you have to lay down this exposition for this movie.
I don't know, it's very front loaded.
Yeah, it is. It's not as bad an info dump as I've seen in other things.
Info dump is definitely the correct word.
Yeah.
To describe this.
It felt like I was sitting through a Conan story, though.
Very, yeah, it really was. Very Samaria-esque. Hyborian age. Yeah. So, so this takes place in a fictitious country because it's DC, that's basically like Wakanda but shitty.
Yeah, because it's the only source for this like super unobtainium material, not terribly dissimilar from vibranium. But the people there never used it to advance themselves. Everyone surrounding them just used it as an excuse to invade them, apparently.
Yeah.
For centuries. Millennia. Even. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like 5,000 years ago, before we were looking this up and we're like, some stuff in the timeline doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like before Babylon, and I was like, why are they using cuneiform?
Yeah.
If it's before Babylon.
So it's about the same time as ancient Egypt, and because if you don't know, Black Adam is the same as, I don't want to confuse you, but Shazam or / Captain Marvel.
Right.
DC's Captain Marvel.
Yeah, like he has powers from the wizards.
Right, the same source of powers. And so if you're not aware, Shazam is an acronym, and each of the letters stands for a Greek god. In the case of Shazam or Captain Marvel, in the case of Black Adam, they're all Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
But it's still an acronym that says Shazam.
Or like, yeah. So, but it's like not Egypt, but it's definitely Egypt.
Yeah.
It's meant to feel like Egypt.
Right.
But like the way you put it was like, this is like what a city in the Middle East would look like in Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Or it's these like tall, like, all these tall arc buildings with like these huge apartment blocks and stuff towering into the sky. But like,
yeah, they're really tall buildings.
Everything's really shitty.
And I think they were just looking. They had all these tall buildings, so they had an excuse to have these
things?
aerial. Well, they had these aerial chase scenes.
Oh yeah.
Through the city, and so you have these tall buildings, so that it's not just open flying around. You have to like weave in and out of these buildings.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So.
But they're not modern tall buildings.
Right. Well, some things about them are though.
Yeah, it was this weird.
Like I think the way you put it was good. Like I was like, this is what Damascus looks like in Cyberpunk 2077.
Right.
Like or 2020 if you're old school.
Yeah.
But the where it's like, yeah, okay, there's definitely some shittiness and griminess to it, but it's still also decidedly futuristic in some way. Like there's some design aspects that like feel like ultra modern,
Yeah.
but like unmaintained.
Yeah. It actually works aesthetically.
Yeah,
for the
no,
movie.
like I was fine with that. I thought it was worked. It was cool. It made for some cool chase scenes, like you said, and like shit for Atom Smasher to smash and whatever.
Atom Smasher.
Yeah, Atom Smasher, not to be confused with
Atom Smasher.
Atom Smasher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, like so, they give you this huge dump of backstory, and then, he gets summoned back because the MacGuffin is in the hands of the bad guys, and, our main heroine, summons, the
hero of old.
Yeah. And he comes back and he's like just,
Kills everything.
And it's totally like the Quicksilver sequences from Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
It was like the same thing, where he's like everything's slowed down.
But not comedic.
Yeah, not well. Okay, there were some parts that were kind of funny just because of how ridiculous they were.
Yeah, but it was a lot more violent.
Yeah, definitely so.
He was using his super speed to violently kill people.
Yeah. And so, Amanda Waller's like, well, this is a major superpowered person that I don't control. So I'm going to send the Justice Society after him. And, I don't know if we're supposed to be cheering on the Justice Society or not, but they do a bad job at making me want to cheer on the Justice Society.
Yeah. They come on too aggressive.
They come on like douchebags.
Yeah.
Also, Dr. Fate's the only one of them that would actually stand a chance at fighting him, right?
Yes.
He should have just, broken Hawkman in half.
See, the fact that Black Adam did not just kill Hawkman outright is proof that he's not, the extreme evil that Hawkman believed him to be.
Right.
Because he could have.
He's like, oh, you killed all these people. And I'm like, yeah, bad guys, though.
Yeah.
They're all, objectively bad guys.
I mean, they were all, about to kill a child.
Right. I don't see that. Sometimes violence is the answer.
Which is basically the message of the movie.
Yeah.
Is that sometimes violence is the answer.
So, yeah, I don't know. This movie, like you said, it's a fine enough movie for a DC movie. It's got, a 7.1 right now.
I had a
IMDb.
fun time watching it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. There's a lot of stuff in it, like I said, that just made you go, what?
There wasn't that much, really groan-worthy stuff.
No. Okay, some of the end sequence was really cheesy and, really cringe. I'll get into that in the spoiler section.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some stuff in the end sequence that was pretty cringe, and I was not the biggest fan of that. But all the stuff involving the heroes, I thought was good.
Mm-hmm.
This was involving decidedly unsuperpowered people.
Yeah,
my complaint. So, let's see. Dr. Fate was really cool. All the stuff with that. Oh, can we talk about the CG for a minute though?
Yeah. So it's not all on the same quality throughout the movie.
There's in the first scene where you're getting the info dump, the backstory. There's some rough green screen sequences in that.
Yeah, and it's not that you can see green still or whatever you get on some amateurish green screen, or it's just the background and the
lighting was off.
The character standing there doesn't look like they were in the scene.
There's it reminded me. There's some shots in 300 that are like that, and particularly the second 300 that are where you just do not believe that this actor is in this environment at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was some of that, and then there was a sequence that shows this truck driving across the desert, and I'm like, there is no excuse for a movie produced by this studio with this much money to have a truck be bad CG.
Yeah, it's just like some deuce and a half truck or
Yeah,
something, right?
yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, some like
Equivalent.
generic like military transport truck driving through the desert, and it looks bad. Like it's very clearly computer generated.
Right. Now, whereas there's a lot of CG in there that looks great.
Yeah, like all the stuff with Dr. Fate.
Yeah, you
He's
totally
flying-
believe. You
He's
totally believe
flying
it.
around doing Doctor Strange stuff, but not
Yeah.
quite as impressively animated. But like, you know,
Well, Doctor Fate has always been more subdued than Doctor Strange.
right? He's like flying around. He's like you know, containing people in these like light prism things and like disappearing the environment and stuff. It's all cool and it's well done. It looks good.
I mean, it could have looked like the '84 Dune shields.
Oh yeah,
Could have come off looking like that.
yeah.
But no, that all looked great. There's a lot of really great CG in here, but there is some parts where you're just like,
just
that's
go,
not
"Ugh."
the same quality.
Yeah. And like I said, it's weird situations where it's like there's no excuse to have a truck look bad.
Well, it's probably it's situations where like, all right, we got so many like effect shots we need to do. Hand these smaller shots off to some
Yeah.
other company, and they're just not as good as ILM or whoever did the big ones.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. But it really like it takes you out of it because it's like you're going along, you're fine, you know, you're like you know, you're like engrossed in the story, and then you see something like that, and you're just like really taken out of the sequence, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, DC superhero movie. I would say so. Better than Justice League. Better than Aquaman. Better than Wonder Woman 84.
yeah.
The movie was terrible. Better than Batman v Superman?
Maybe it's been so long since I've seen that.
Yeah,
It's hard to compare them like versus a movie it's been years since I've seen.
I'd say like I would probably put it equal to Shazam, although they're very tonally different movies.
Right, but it's obviously like you're gonna wind up with a Shazam Black Adam face-off in a movie in the future if everything goes the way they want,
Yeah,
because that has to happen.
yeah.
So,
Which
yeah,
I mean I could dig that because what's his name, Levi,
Zachary Levi.
Zachary Levi. I think Zachary Levi should get more work.
No.
He seems like a cool dude.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, I think I recommend the movie.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's fun.
It's making a shitload of money.
Yeah, it's not
Like, I mean, go see it if you want. It doesn't need your help.
right, but I'm just saying if you're looking for a movie to see, it's worth seeing. And, you know, on the big screen, there's lots of visual effects. And I'd say for a superhero it's a solid superhero movie.
Gross worldwide so far is 156 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, and our showing was like basically sold out, and it was like
It's
a
like
Tuesday
a Tuesday
night.
night. Yeah.
So, you know. Yeah, so spoilers.
Yeah.
So at the end of the movie,
Mhm.
when the demon or the dude comes back, Ishmael,
Yeah.
right, comes back as the demon dude,
Mm-hmm.
and like the undead are coming back, and they're like going around rallying all the citizens of that made up city to fight them, and they're like just picking up like pipes and shit and just like bashing skeleton zombie things. And like that whole sequence felt super cheesy.
Yeah.
And pretty cringe to me.
It felt like the writers were like, oh, we kind of need something for our like normies to be doing.
Yeah.
Since we drug them along in this whole thing, they need to be doing something. Because you don't care about any of it. Like it feels like zero stakes.
Right.
Because you know they're gonna survive. Whereas the superhero fight,
You know someone's going to die.
right? Because Dr. Fate has said so.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and it's just like they're like rallying all these like random civilians to like go fight these undead things that like, you know, and
And
it's just
it really should have been fighting their oppressors, the gang, the
whatever gang, intergang. Yeah, where it is like, but it's just like a bunch of like civilians, like the kid like goes to rally them, and it's super cheesy, and then like there's one guy looking at him, and he's like, "What are we waiting for?"
Oh, hey, yeah, the kid's right. Yeah.
You know, it was he goes like, "What are we waiting for?" Ah! And they all
I don't know, to get guns.
Yeah, I don't know, to have something more than iron pipes to fight these things with.
Yeah, doesn't seem to matter because they take them all out. I don't know.
Well, presumably they all like go away when the demon dude gets ripped in half by Black Adam.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. They should have just challenged him to a rock off.
Because
the demon code prevents them from declining a rock off challenge.
Yep.
Yes. So through this whole movie though, I'm just like I'm kind of wanting Black Adam to just dunk on the Justice Society. Like every time like he and Hawkman go to fight, I'm like, kick his ass.
Right? Hawkman was kind of a dick. I mean, Black Adam was kind of a dick sometimes too. He like never used a door. Like there are times when there's a door, but he goes through the wall adjacent to the door just because he can bust through the wall.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan's like, I suppose they didn't have doors in your time. He goes, no, they did. That's how we got into rooms.
But like when the Justice Society shows up, and then what's her name, the heroine of the story, she like berates them for like, oh, you
Adriana?
Yeah, like we've been oppressed for decades, never seen a hero come to help us, but now suddenly we get a hero, and what you want to do is take him away. I'm like, they should have been mortified.
Right.
They should have just hung their heads in shame over that.
Yeah. And like I said too, like all the people that Black Adam was killing, objectively bad guys.
Yeah. But Hawkman's like, heroes don't kill, and he's like, I'm not a hero. I never claimed to be a hero. But I'm doing your job for you, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Henry Winkler is now in the DC universe.
Yeah. Little, very short appearance.
Yeah, as like the previous
Atom Smasher.
Atom Smasher.
The uncle of the current.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then like the credit sequence. Oh yeah, so like Black Adam though, like, so he accidentally destroyed like the city state in a fit of rage because they killed his son. It gets revealed, right?
5,000 years ago.
5,000 years ago, and so because of that, the wizards like locked him up, and so like he agrees to go get locked up himself in Amanda Waller's like undersea prison, to prevent that from happening again. After they like save the kid and stuff, but like as part of saving the kid, Ishmael gets killed, but like that's what he had wanted the whole time. He needed
so
to
he
die.
could come back as a demon.
He needed to die in proximity to the crown.
Yeah,
is what it was.
Yeah, and then he would be resurrected as with the demonic powers.
Yeah, so they gotta like get Black Adam out of prison, and he shows up and like rips the demon dude in half lengthways. That was cool.
Yeah.
Just like pulling on his horns in opposite directions at like arm's reach. Which, I mean, I could believe Dwayne Johnson doing that in real life. So I feel like Dwayne Johnson could just like grab either side of a watermelon and pull it apart, right? right?
Yeah, I guess.
But anyway, so like, he smashes the throne though, because like the people are like, hey, like you could rule over us, and he's like, nah, it doesn't feel right, and so he smashes the stone throne or whatever, and then like Amanda Waller, basically sends in a drone with her message that's like, don't leave, whatever the hell that country's name was, or else. And he's like,
I feel like that made it worse. I feel like he had no plans to leave until she said not to. Then he's like, well, now I'm going to do it.
right. And he's like, nothing in this world can kill me. And she's like, I can call on stuff from outside this world. And the Superman shows up.
Yeah.
And presumably they're going to have like a big like Dragon Ball Z fight, right?
Yeah. It'd be 2 hours of just Dragon Ball Z fight.
Tell me you wouldn't pay to see that though.
I might.
As long as it's well done.
Yeah.
As well done
So
as you want it to be.
Better than the final scene in the third Matrix movie, then? That Dragon Ball Z fight?
Yeah. Well, and what was the second? There was a second Superman movie with Henry Cavill, right? Or did he just do Man of Steel? And then the Justice League?
You did Man of Steel, then Batman v Superman, then Justice League.
Okay. Then I guess it must have been the end of Man of Steel that had like a bad Dragon Ball Z fight too, right?
Yeah.
As I recall.
It was him versus Zod.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and like, but that felt weird because I'm like,
It was Michael
what?
Shannon. I just remembered that was Michael Shannon playing Zod.
Oh, like it felt weird to me because I'm like, why is Superman listening to Amanda Waller?
Right. Like, why does...
She's very clearly not a good person.
Yeah, but she's that necessary evil that, like,
right, but
without her, the world actually might be a worse place.
Right, and I could see where Hawkman would go along with that, and I could see where, like, Green Arrow would go along with that. I don't see Superman going along with that.
Yeah.
He's such, like, a pure, like...
I can see Batman going along with it.
Yeah, he's just, like, this pure good guy going on.
Right. He doesn't have the pragmatism that some of those other heroes do.
Right. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out.
So that was that's our Black Adam review. What's next? Oh man. Like gotta dude, this freaking the way IMDb changed. Oh, they went back to this like having the posters on the list here of upcoming releases instead of just being this like list of text. Next thing's probably Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
That's November 11th. I gotta say, I hope the movie's better than that trailer because that trailer is really boring.
Yeah, it doesn't make me interested.
It feels so pretentious.
Yeah. I'm mostly curious how they write out T'Challa.
Yeah, but it feels super pretentious because it's like, but dude, it's a Marvel movie. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
The menu looks really good. That cast is stacked though. Ralph Fiennes, Nicholas Hoult. I mean, come on. We getting some like Devotion that comes out in November too. November looks pretty good for movies. Devotion's that Korean War movie with Jonathan Majors and Glenn Powell. Oh, and then I guess after that's Avatar 2, and then I think that's like pretty much it for the year. God, what a down note to end the year on. Freaking Avatar 2.
Yeah. I think I'm more excited for Wakanda Forever than Avatar 2 though.
Yeah, I think of all the movies left this year, I'm most excited about the menu.
Yeah, me too.
Just because, like, Nicholas Hoult looks like he carries that movie really well, judging by the trailers. So, next year, right, is Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
That's the movie I'm most excited for.
It's like a year away almost there, right?
I know. Of all the movies that they've announced, and like they've announced a few that I'm interested in, like Shazam 2, Dungeons and Dragons 2, I guess. Is that the second one they made?
No. They've made at least one other.
Okay. I'm sure you're excited for Magic Mike's Last Dance. Ant-Man and the Wasp should be interesting how it kicks off, John Wick Chapter 4. But like so there's a bunch of movies that like I'm excited for, but I'm really excited for Oppenheimer. But that, like nuclear age Cold War shit. Or not like Cold War, but like that whole like nuclear age like
Yeah, it's pre-Cold War.
Right. But I mean where does the movie end?
Yeah, the start of the Cold War.
Right. So, I mean, we don't know how far into the Cold War the movie goes, right?
I don't know. Yeah, it hasn't been a trailer or anything.
Yeah. But anyway, so like that whole like everything to do with like the Manhattan Project and all that, I just find super fascinating. The development of the nuclear bomb and all that. It's just super interesting and fascinating to me. So like I'm super excited for that movie. And let's hope that 2023 ends up better for movies. Oh, we got Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, that should be good.
Yeah, and Fast X. Oh, they made it to 10, huh?
Ah man, you'd asked me earlier. I said they were beyond it, but
So yeah, I mean, 2023. Just scrolling through, it looks pretty good. Do you think they're actually going to release this Flash movie? There's no way, right? There's no way they release that movie at this point.
I don't know, but Fast 10 should take place in space.
Yeah.
Continuing the tradition of movies with an X taking place in space, like Jason X.
Right.
That's actually the only one I can think of. But it's a tradition if Fast X goes into space.
Right.
I mean, they went into space.
2 is a tradition.
They went into space in the last one, right? Briefly, 2 of them.
Yes.
But I mean, like the whole movie.
Whole movie.
It should just be like the whole family on a space shuttle.
Oh man. Yeah. Oppenheimer is in July. By the way. So, the Meg 2. You got Jason Statham back?
Guy's gotta feed his family, I guess.
Yeah, I guess like if Guy Ritchie isn't making a movie, he's got to do something for work, right?
Seems like.
So anyway, yeah, hopefully, yeah, next year is better because it's just really kind of a bummer that this year ends on Avatar 2.
Right. And if 10, 15 years ago, I'd have been excited for an Avatar 2, but it's been so long, I don't really care anymore.
Same. Orlando Bloom's in a movie called Gran Turismo. Or will be, I guess. So anyway, yeah, if any of that sounds of interest to you, come back, check out our reviews of that stuff. Also go check out our last review. What was that, Nolan?
Amsterdam.
You were ready for it.
Yeah.
Wow. You're getting better at that. Yeah, so go check out a review of Amsterdam. A much more complex movie to review.
Yeah.
Than Black Adam. So, yeah, you got anything else?
No.
Alright, until next time, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Toodles.